Well, good afternoon, everybody. As you can see, I'm back at the center, and we do have clients, so I'm quite pleased about that. I'm Bob Jackman, of course. I'm the teacher and virtue facilitator at the Charles J. Andrew Youth and Family Treatment Center, and that's where I am today. Yes. So I hope everybody is doing well. Of course, we're into level 2, so very, very interesting. So what I want to talk to you about today before we do our virtues pick is about, as a parent, be a teacher, not a preacher. Don't use the virtues to moralize, okay? We talked about it a while back about parents being the first and most important educators of the child. So we're all teachers, okay? Not just me, everybody. So, with all due respect to religious preachers who serve their faith, we are referring here to the habit parents have of giving lectures. My COVID hair is sticking up. There. The Virtues Project does not condone prissy morality. Teaching virtues as an educator is quite different from being a moralizer or a lecturer. Here's what you should do, right? The virtues language, like any tool, can be misapplied and used as manipulation. That would be a sad mistake. Acknowledging children and reflecting to them your respect. Okay, reflecting to them your respect when they are showing an effort to practice a virtue, and calling them to a virtue when they are out of alignment with it is very different from inappropriate preaching. Do you remember the lectures your parents gave you, or the daydreams you entertained to drown them out? Again, we talked about that before, but where parents are yelling at their children all the time. Eventually, kids don't hear what you're saying. They don't hear what you're yelling about. They just hear the noise, and then they have a tendency of saying or, doing or playing a game or whatever it is that will drown out this noise that's coming from the parents, right? The following examples of responses when a child is having trouble sharing may help to clarify the distinction between preaching and teaching. Okay, so here's an example. A child pulls toy truck away from his playmate. Got that picture? Here's the preaching parent. Here's what the preaching parent says. Something along these lines. You should share and be generous, Johnny. If you can't, you'll have to play alone. Even worse, no one will like you. Imagine how that would hurt a child, right? So the teaching parent, this would be something similar to what they would say. Johnny, be generous to your friend. Which toy would you like to share with her? Or you might say, what would help you to share that toy peacefully? Or, be generous, Johnny. Do you want to take turns with the truck or share some other toys? So you're giving the child choices as to what to do, So there's the difference between preaching and teaching. The word should is usually a good indicator that preaching is occurring. There is a shaming quality to it, and it usually results in a child reacting with tears or anger. Whereas with firm but gentle teaching, children tend to calm down and see their options more clearly. This, of course, strengthens their ability to make moral choices. The choice to be just, to be generous, to choose caring over selfishness. Recognizing teachable moments is closely linked to speaking the language of the virtues. And of course, that's the next section that we're going to move into, certainly the next video. Language has great influence to empower or discourage. You can empower a child, or you can discourage them by the language that you use. Self-esteem is built when shaming, blaming language is replaced by acknowledging each other for the virtues we see, or calling each other to the virtues that are needed. Now get this, okay? if you fill a home, or a school, or a workplace with words such as lazy, stupid, bad, that is the behavior which follows. Makes sense. But if you use words such as courage, helpfulness, flexibility, you're empowering these behaviors, whether in a child, an employee, or a friend. To me, now that makes sense. It does make sense. You look for the positive things that each other's doing, and particularly children. When you see them do something nice, acknowledge them for it. Well, thank you, Johnny, for being so helpful, picking up that garbage and putting it in the garbage bag. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Mary, for helping Mommy with the dishes. And that way, we're not always, trying to correct them. And if that's all we do is try and correct, then really what we're doing is, disempowering them, right? Like you're bad, you're no good at this, you're no good at that. So the virtue I thought would be best for today then, the virtue that I picked, is the virtue of, can you guess it? The virtue of respect. Here's the quote. A man is not an elder because his head is gray. He in whom truth, virtue, gentleness, self-control, moderation, he who is steadfast and free from impurity is rightly called an elder, is called respectable. And that's from the Hindu religion. Now, what is respect? Respect is an attitude of honoring people and caring about their rights. Being respectful is reflected in the courtesy with which we treat one another, the way we speak, and the way we treat other people's belongings. Speaking and acting respectfully gives people the dignity they deserve. It is particularly important to be respectful of elders, like your parents, grandparents, and teachers, because they have lived longer, they have wisdom, and can teach you many things. While everyone deserves respect, elders deserve a special measure of courtesy and respect. Respect includes honoring the rules of your family and your school and your community, behaving in a way which makes life more peaceful and orderly. Being respectful includes self-respect. This means that you protect your rights, such as your privacy and modesty. If anyone violates your rights, even if it is an elder, this must be stopped. Every woman, man, and child was created by God, and we all deserve respect. Now remember, if anyone violates your rights, it should be stopped. So why should we bother to practice respect? Without respectfulness, people's privacy would be violated. Anyone who felt like it would read a private letter or diary or walk into the washroom or bedroom when you want to be alone. Without respect, people speak rudely to each other and treat others as if they don't matter. Without self-respect, you will let others use you or hurt you. Being respectful helps people feel valued. Elders deserve special respect because they have lived longer and learned many life's lessons. That's why you go to an elder, sometimes when you're having difficulties, because there's probably no difficulty that you're going through that the elder hasn't already been through, and therefore would have some very wise words for you, So, always refer to elders when you have to, Without respect for elders, children would do exactly as they please. Without respect for laws or rules, we would just have chaos. Think of what it would be like to ride in a car if none of the other drivers respected the rules of the road. When you respect other people's property, they are more likely to respect yours. When you treat yourself with respect, others respect you too. And that's probably one of the most important things is actually giving yourself the respect that you deserve. How do you practice it? Here's how we practice respect. A good way to practice respect is to think about how you would like to be treated, and then treat others that way. How would you like others to treat your belongings, your right to privacy, your need for dignity? If you feel like using someone else's things, you ask rather than just take. You don't run around inside someone's home when there are breakables there. You treat their space and their belongings with respect. Being respectful is expressing even your strongest feelings in a peaceful way. Respect is speaking quietly and courteously, especially to elders. It is not interrupting, but saying, "Excuse me," and then waiting for someone to give you his attention. It is expressing your opinion as an opinion, respectful of the fact that there is more than one way of seeing things. Practicing self-respect is treating yourself as you feel others deserve to be treated. You deserve it too. Signs of success. You know you are practicing the virtue of respect when you treat everyone the way you would like to be treated. You treat the property of others with special care. You honor other people's need for time and space to themselves. You speak courteously to everyone. You are receptive to the wisdom of elders. Honor the rules of your family and nation. When you expect respect for your body and your rights. And here's the affirmation. I am respectful. I treat others and myself as we deserve to be treated. I show courtesy to everyone. I learn from the wisdom of my elders. Wow, very interesting. Now I have a quote here from the Daily Meditations, The Sacred Moment by Linda Cavallon Popoff. Of course, we know Linda was the one that wrote the Family Virtues Guide as well. Okay, so for the virtue of respect, just listen to this one. O Great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, and whose breath gives life to all the world, hear me. I am small and weak. I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty, and let my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Make my hands respect the things you have made, and my ears grow sharp to hear your voice. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes. So when life fades as the fading sunset, my spirit may come to you without shame. Native American tradition. Some quotes. That was a prayer, really. Some quotes. Take care of your reputation. It's your most valuable asset. Now, you know how to take care of your reputation? By always practicing the virtues and maintaining your character at all costs. Okay? The person who you really are, that's your character. The reputation is the way other people see you. Well, if you are practicing the virtues and maintaining your character, you should have a good reputation. Okay? Live your life in such a way that if somebody said something bad about you, nobody would believe it. That's the key. Respect is another one by Chief Dan George. There is a longing among all people to have a sense of purpose and worth. To satisfy that common longing in all of us, we must respect each other. Chief Dan George. Respect is treating your body with the same care you would give any other valuable and irreplaceable object. This body, you know, it's the only one that you have for the rest of your life. If it was a new car, you'd look after it. You'd wash it, shine it, clean it. You know, you'd want it to make it look its best at all times. And really, this is what respect is. It's making our bodies look the best that they can be, so they'll last us for the rest of our lives, right? However long that's going to be, you know. But certainly not abusing your body. Your body is your vehicle for life. As long as you are here, live in it. Love, honor, respect, and cherish it. Treat it well, and it will serve you in kind. Susie Pruden. I've read this one before in another section. It says, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt. and she's the wife of a former president. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. When I respect others, others respect me. And I like that. That was a sixth grader in California said that. When I respect others, others respect me. And I like that. Cool. How do you feel? Something to think about now, okay? Something for you to think about. How do you feel when people treat you disrespectfully? How do you feel when people are disrespectful to you? And this one. How do you feel when people treat you respectfully? So how do you feel when people treat you disrespectfully? How do you feel when they treat you respectfully? Which one do you want? You want to be treated with respect. Guess what? You treat everybody with respect. Okay? When you're treating someone respectfully, other people see you do that. That's what builds your character. People say, oh, I know him. Very nice person. Very nice woman. Whatever. Because they see the things that you're doing. So again, it's practicing your virtues, being a role model for children and everybody else around you, okay? And if you do that, practice the virtues, you will develop your character, self-esteem, self-confidence, all of those things. They all come together when you give it your best effort, okay? So I really appreciate you tuning in again today. I'm not sure when it will be on Wednesday. I'm assuming 1 o'clock. But if it's not 1 o'clock on Wednesday, then I'll certainly be letting you know. I'll put a message on to tell you when it's going to be. Okay? So stay safe. Hopefully we'll be into level 1 before much longer, and things can get back closer to normal, say, than it is even today, right? You know. So anyway, so thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again on Wednesday. Okay? Bye for now.